Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're here with Grimgor, the Black Orc, going to be taking a look at a replay between the Greenskins and the Warriors of Chaos. So let's go to the army compositions. Of course, my lord is going to be Grimgor Ironhide, the Black Orc himself, who I'm kind of sad is not more useful. Yeah, you don't see him very often just because he's super slow. Being an infantry-only lord, I mean, he has 38 speed, but still, he has relatively low mass as well, so he can get knocked around. Has 500 total weapon strength with 350 armor piercing. Immunity to psychology makes him one of the few Greenskin lords to have this trait. He's immune to terror, which can be very, very useful, particularly against chaos. Also has Stand Your Ground and Wog today for the support buffs. In terms of the rest of the army, we've got a Night Goblin Shaman here. Going to be using that Sneaky Stealin' to try and pull away some of the Winds of Magic from the Warriors of Chaos here. We've also got Sneaky Stabbin' and Itchy Nuisance to help that happen. Sneaky Stabbin', of course, is a single target, 26 melee attack, and 20% AP. Nice little buff. And Itchy Nuisance is an area of effect debuff, minus 26 melee attack, 25% weapon damage. Very, very strong. We've got a firing line here of the Rusty Arrows and one Orc Air Boy. Been recently liking Orc Air Boys quite a bit because they do have solid AP values at 6. They also have decent combat stats, making them a solid overall skirmisher unit. And then we've got a whole very strong infantry line here, a whole bunch of different units. We've got 3 goblins up front, 2 black orcs with 1 regular biggin and 1 savage biggin. We've also got the 2 Regiment of Renowned Gobbos and 1 more black orc here in the center. Broken Tusk Mob for some mobile support, and we've got 1 skirmish cav here, the Morgum, some mangy marauders who you never want to leave home without. And that's it for my build for my opponent. He's got 2 Chaos Poison Warhounds supporting a Shaggoth over on this end, 4 Chaos Warriors with Grey Weapons, and a single Forsaken up the center with Archaon the Ever-Chosen as the Lord choice here. He's going to have Cascading Fire Cloak, the Burning Head, and Piercing Bolts of Burning. Very good spell selection. 2 more Marauder Horsemen over on this side, and that's pretty much it. Looks like there's 2 Marauder Horsemasters actually over here. So these guys looking to do a little bit of skirmishing early on. So let's go ahead and kick the battle into full gear. We'll watch as things unfold. You can see we're going to be using these Gobbos here to screen out a little bit. Of course, the Marauder Horsemasters aren't going to do too much damage. I mean, they will do some damage to the goblins, but they're not going to generate a whole lot of value. You can see the fire coming in there from the Orc Air Boys, who don't have the most accurate missile fire, but they can get some damage done. So you see their arrows kind of following there, not doing the most, but doing a little bit. You know, in the front line, we managed to bait these hounds into running into my front line here with the Mangy Marauders. Now going to be parking them back in a safe position back behind the line somewhere. You can see the Shaggoths coming in over on this side, charging into a unit of Black Orcs. So we're going to immediately charge in with these Broken Tusk Mob here. Their armor-piercing anti-large should allow them to get quite a bit of work done. We also hit him with that Sneaky Stabbing to give him additional melee attack and armor-piercing damage. So they're juiced up with their stats a little bit here. You can see Piercing Bolts of Burning actually being dropped, but it doesn't look like, it actually ended up making some pretty solid contact there. It took down a few of the unit models for both units, but overall this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is taking damage. I don't think I'm getting the best of this engagement, but we do have the firing line on station now, sundering the armor of the Shaggoth, and also these Orc Air Boys going to be pouring in their arrows as well, so the Shaggoth's taking quite a bit of damage here, going to have to pull back or else risk losing it here. Goblins, again, just being used on the flanks to screen out these Marauder Horsemen, would just waste their ammo. Even if these 2 Marauder Horsemen were to charge this Goblin right now, they could probably break it, but unfortunately, Broken Tusk Mob being terrified away, they're not immune to psychology, and some Marauder Horsemasters charged in here. I mean, Orc Air Boys, though, have great combat stats, especially with the Wog support nearby. They're going to beat the brakes off these Marauder Horsemasters, and they're going to definitely regret trying to charge into melee here. The other unit also being thrown in here just to interrupt the Rusty Arrows from firing, but they are still getting some shots off here. You can see the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth taking quite a bit of damage, and these Orc Biggins unfortunately just dropped their attack order, so they're not continuing to push through as I had ordered them to do. But in the main line engagement, we are going to be doing very, very well. You can see some Fanatics being unleashed right down the line of these Chaos Warriors here. Unfortunately, did a little bit of friendly fire there as well, but definitely doing quite a bit of damage. But all across the main line here, we should be doing pretty well. Nice Burning Head coming down from my opponent, just side through my archer line and actually lowered their leadership enough to be terrified away by the Shaggoth there. And now Grimgor is fighting in here, inundated by all these Marauder Horsemen. He's definitely not going to be taking any crap from them. Looks like Archaon's also fighting the Black Orc. So we're getting a little bit of a duel situation here. Archaon with the Cascading Fire Cloak on himself will actually be pretty decent against Grimgor. Looks like he's also popped that Slayer of Kings as well, which just wore off there, so was able to do quite a bit of damage to Grimgor, but now Grimgor is going to turn back and start thwomping on Archaon here. So, yeah, you can see the Night Goblin Shaman also getting smacked on by the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth there. A little bit unfortunate. We're trying to keep those Orc Piggins tied to that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, but it's not easy. And that being said, over in the back line here, using these Mangy Marauders in melee against Marauder Horsemasters probably isn't the best, but I just needed something to tie them up. You can see, unfortunately, Grimgor was tied up here with both of these units, which is not great, but it did get a tiny little toss there from the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, tossing him onto the other side of the Orc Biggins here. Now the Biggins are finally going to be getting in here and putting a little bit of damage on that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth there. We've also got the Itchy Nuisance dropped in this pocket, as well as Wog, so all these units going to be getting a melee attack buff. And Grimgor, you know, he does get knocked around a little bit here, but once he stands up and starts to get attacks on this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, he'll be able to do quite a bit of damage here. So come on, Grimgor. Looks like he didn't quite get an attack animation in there. But at the end of the day, the frontline engagement is definitely going in our favor, which is, you know, very, very good. We're going to need some extra stopping power to take down these big, dangerous units here. You can see Rallied Broken Tusk Mob coming in on these Marauder Horsemasters, going to be hopefully finishing them off. Get the Pig Boys up in here for some additional support. Meanwhile, Grimgor with his kind of infantry death ball pushing forward here, trying to get on, but it looks like we're not quite able to catch him. So we turn around, then Archaon decides to charge in. So I'm like, okay, now for real, let's get this going here. We've got the Standard Eye up for the Forces of Chaos. So no buffs at the moment for Grimgor, but he should be able to just put a beat down on these guys regardless. So let's see how he's able to do here. He's putting in some hits. Looks like Archaon dropping that Cascading Fire Cloak on himself once again. We're going to be dropping that Itchy Nuisance, though, just to debuff all the units in this pocket here to try and help Grimgor out. You can see he is doing quite a bit of damage, and both this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and Archaon are suddenly very, very low on leadership. So Grimgor getting in here. Let's see, does get one more swipe from behind right at Archaon. So going to be helping to see these guys off here, and their leadership is going to be broken. And that'll be it. So Grimgor does take a victory home. Very well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that battle. It's you know, a fun matchup, Chaos versus Greenskins. Definitely a very headstrong, bloody matchup. So in terms of the army breakdown here, Grimgor only got 9 kills, but he was able to help deal with Archaon and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth there. So that in and of itself was useful. The front line, you can see Black Orcs. 52 kills, 67 and some XP chevrons to go around, 70 on these Savage Orc Biggins, only 16 on the Orc Biggins, but they got a lot of work done against like the Shaggoth and some other large targets as well. Gobbo's being an effective meat shield, and the Gobbo firing line, I guess the Gobbo Orc mixed firing line, was able to put in some good work on the Shaggoth initially, although they did get routed off there a little bit, unfortunately. Archaon, while he's also not the most competitive pick, is a fun pick in this one. He managed to pick up 61 kills from that Burning Head, and just from running around himself and being, you know, the combat badass that he is. He was almost able to finish off Grimgor, but not quite. And even with the support of the Shaggoth there, the Greenskin infantry just proving superior. You can see these Chaos Warriors in certain situations got quite a few kills, but those are mostly against the Meat Shield Gobbos. They really got the brakes beaten off of them by these Black Orcs and just the superior Greenskin infantry here in the center. The Marauder Horsemen did relatively well, got some decent kills, but again, mostly against Gobbos. Dragon Ogre Shaggoth did manage to rack up an XP chevron of 62 kills, which is very impressive, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't quite enough for the Warriors of Chaos. So, again, I don't think that either of these lords are the most competitive choice. For the Greenskins, you probably would say that Azag is the most competitive choice in this particular matchup. Vitabunin and Spirit Leech can be super strong here, and Azag has the speed to get the heck out of there when he needs to. But Grimgor, you know, he's definitely a little bit of a stealth pick. Let's go ahead and just briefly look at a few things with the old Black Orc himself. So, yeah, my opponent's army for Chaos was pretty decent. I'm not the biggest fan of the Marauder Horsemasters. I think you can cut those down and go with something cheaper, just to bring a little bit more meat in the front line. Some Chosen with great weapons, honestly, may not be a bad pick in this matchup, just because Black Orcs are pretty much always going to be featured here by the Greenskins, just because they are immune to psychology, they have AP. I mean, there's no reason not to go with the pretty heavy Black Orc force in this particular matchup. But yeah, Grimgor, I mean, he has the basic abilities, Foe Seeker, Standing Ground, and Wog, and only the one item, Gitsnick, which is a pretty strong item. I mean, 26 melee attack and 40% AP is not out of this world. I would really like to see this weapon perhaps give him like a plus 20 bonus versus large or something, similar to Galmaraz or the Axe of Dargo for Ungrim. I would really like to see either an innate bonus versus large for Grimgor to help him like in a situation I just showed, or for Gitsnick to give him a bonus versus large, or even both. I really think that giving Grimgor a bonus versus large, maybe a little bit more HP and a little bit more mass as well, just to make him really good at fighting monsters. Almost like an Ungrim Iron Fist for the orcs, but a little bit more well-rounded, better against more other targets, but just the ability to just smash on any large monstrous unit. I think that would give Grimgor a really nice niche and make him very, very useful for the greenskins. But those are my thoughts. As he is, he's okay. He's not terrible, but he's definitely not the most competitive choice. Still fun to bring occasionally, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Really helps me out. So thank you very much for watching once again, and we'll see you next time.